And now, from Stage 21 at Universal Studios at Universal Orlando Resort,
is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Asbury Park, New Jersey, weighing in at 390 pounds, Hennig.
Greeting wrestling fans, welcome back to the Nation Network for the XWF as we return here to the Nation Network. Kicking things off this week, Bam Bam Bigelow as he steps through the ropes, get ready to take on one of the biggest names in professional wrestling today, Rob Van Dam, in what promises to be a tremendous matchup. But folks, we've got plenty more still to come after that.
Well, we've got a main event that I personally have been looking forward to since the day I heard it was signed. We're going to see some of the biggest and some of the best names because we're taking a look at the Nature Boy Ric Flair teaming up with Ravishing Rick Rude. And we haven't seen them as a team in a little while now, but they're the former tag team champions around here.
Well, indeed, but they're going to have their hands full indeed. The Macho Man, Randy Savage, will be on the opposite side of the ring from them.
Well, not only that, but he'll have Mr. Perfect as his tag team partner. And I'll tell you, that's going to be a main event that everybody's going to want to make sure they check out.
Want to welcome everyone joining us here live on the Nation Network for the XWF Monstar Entertainment in the house. Welcome aboard. We're also going to see the XWF Extreme Heavyweight Championship defended tonight. Abyss, the champion, going up against Newjack. That's going to be one for the ages.
Yeah, I hope everyone's paid the insurance around here because it's hard to say how much of this building will still be in existence when that match is over.
The bell sounds, action's underway. Bam Bam Bigelow wasting no time at all, going to work on Rob Van Dam. Oh, Bam Bam launches himself from the apron. Didn't quite hit the mark.
Well, maybe not on the first one, but he definitely did on that one.
How do you like this matchup?
Well, you know what? I would normally say Bam Bam's going to have the size and weight advantage and the strength and power advantage. But quite honestly, I don't know that Rob Van Dam's going to have that big an advantage on the speed portion because Bam Bam's a big man who can move like a cruiserweight when he wants to. So he may be checking off all the boxes, and that's going to be a disadvantage for Rob Van Dam. If I'm going to give him an advantage, it'll be the fact that Van Dam is well-versed in different forms of martial arts, and his hands and feet are equally devastating and lethal. And that might be enough to turn the page a little bit here. But we'll have to wait and see because Bam Bam Bigelow can rough you up.
We've seen that time and time again. Will we see it here tonight? We're going to find out, fans. Bam Bam Bigelow scooping up Rob Van Dam. To your point, the power on display as he just drops Van Dam across the top rope, and there was no effort involved.
Yeah, when you can pick up a 200-plus pound man and make it look like there was no effort involved, that tells you you're a pretty strong dude. And Bam Bam Bigelow, he's a pretty strong dude.
Headbutt. Leaving Van Dam prone. Oh, my goodness, Van Dam just caught the headbutt again from Bigelow. That one really did its job.
Yeah, both of them feeling the effects of that one. Even Bam Bam had to shake it off a little bit.
Irish whip into the corner now. Van Dam putting the boots to the midsection and now drops him with a DDT.
Well, again, you saw him start to use the feet. That's what Van Dam's going to have the advantage on. Nice move right there. Springboards himself over the top rope. Cross Bam Bam Bigelow going for the count.
Got a 2 count on him right there, and Van Dam now starting to put some offense together. Early on, starting to wonder if this was going to be a one-sided battle, but finally, Rob Van Dam getting himself into the battle. Nice move right there. Now, RVD starting to feel it. Launches himself springboard off the middle rope. Moonsault across Bam Bam Bigelow. Shoulders are down, hooks the leg, will that be enough?
Well, it was close, but still no cigar.
Van Dam rolling thunder. That's going to be all she wrote. Reaches back for the leg. 1, he got 2, and it's all, man. Very close indeed. Connecting with a 5-star frog splash. Van Dam looking to put him away, and he does. No! You've got to be kidding me.
Well, somehow Bam Bam Bigelow managed to kick out from the 5-star frog splash, and that doesn't happen much.
Van Dam now whipping him to the rope. Stop down. Nicely done. Japanese arm drag taking Bam Bam Bigelow and follows him up with a quick drop kick. Bigelow on the receiving end right now. Oh, there's that back kick, and you talked about it early on.
Yeah, Van Dam now is starting to pull out all the stunts he's got, and Bam Bam Bigelow, to his credit, has really absorbed all this punishment and continues to move forward as if nothing's happened.
It's almost as if he's feeding off of this. Bigelow now sends Van Dam across the ring. Oh, look out! Rob Van Dam just removes Bam Bam Bigelow from the apron.
Well, that's what I talked about early on. The one advantage I thought that he would have is if he can get into these mixed martial arts skills that he has, and he's using his feet very effectively right now to chop down the big man.
Rob Van Dam with a punch to the head.
Yeah, I would call that a closed fist from what I can see. But the referee right now busy trying to keep the count of 10 going, and that's enough work for him. Good thing it's not a count of 20 around here. Otherwise, he'd have to take off his shoes as well.
Give me a break. Van Dam, oh my goodness.
Well, there's a saying about throwing caution to the wind. He's really playing with the house money at this point in time because he should never have survived that one. Incredibly dangerous move for Rob Van Dam.
Bam Bam Bigelow now has his feet up on the ropes. Referee doesn't see it.
Well, don't act surprised. The referees around here don't see a lot of things.
Greetings from Asbury Park. Van Dam's been busted open. Bigelow might put him away with that one. There's a count of 1. Where is Van Dam getting this from?
Well, that's just sheer determination on the part of RVD right here. He should not have gotten up from that move, but he found a way to do it.
Now the monkey flip puts Bam Bam Bigelow back towards the middle of the ring. Bigelow using the ropes to get himself back up to his feet. Van Dam patiently waiting on him. Oh, wait a minute. I think we know what's coming up next. Van Dam. Split leg moonsault that he connects. Hook in the leg. Will that be enough for the victory? He got it. No. Man, oh man, we've seen it all in this one.
Well, both of these dudes have really taken whatever the other one had to dish out, and somehow they all keep on going. I'm not sure where that's coming from, to be honest with you.
Bam Bam Bigelow now biding his time, waiting for his moment. Head first into the turnbuckle. And now working his way into the eyes of Rob Van Dam. Once again, greetings from Asbury Park. That's a second time dropping him on the top of his head.
I can't imagine he's going to kick out of it twice.
But he does. Bam Bam Bigelow visibly upset.
Well, I don't know if he's upset as much as frustrated because he just hit with everything he's got.
Van Dam, 5-star. He bounces off of Bigelow from the impact. Pulling back on the leg for one. He got two. He got him. Wow, what an opening contest, ladies and gentlemen, between two major forces here in the XWF.
Well, I'll say this right now. If you were to give these two guys another two matches, it would probably come down to the third before you'd figure out who the winner was. I wouldn't mind seeing this one again because both of these dudes really brought their A-game here tonight.
No arguing from me, I'll tell you right now. It doesn't get much better than that. As we take a look back at some of the replay from this one, holy cow, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I'll say this, both men hit their finishing maneuvers, the moves that normally end a match, multiple times on each other before one of them finally paid off, and it was, of course, the 5-star that paid off for Rob Van Dam, but it took a long time to get there.
Bam Bam Bigelow, look at this. Asbury Park right there, straight on the top of the head. And to your point, Rob Van Dam just connecting with a 5-star frog splash, getting a big victory indeed. Plenty more action to come here on the XWF. Stay with us. This is the Nation Network.
Hey, B, no way a little dude like you is gonna change my ways.
It's time you were tempted with a taste of nuts and honey.
Hulk Hogan doesn't eat nuts and honey.
Take this. An unbeatable part of this nutritious breakfast.
That's better than a body slam.
Undefeated.
And still champion.
It's a honey of the night. It's Honey Nut Cheerios.
All right, fans, we are back, and now the International Heavyweight Champion
Is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Venice Beach, California, weighing in at 303 pounds, the International Champion, the Hogan.
Hulk Hogan heading to the ring. It is a non-title match against the man who recently accosted him, the great Khali.
Well, I'll say this right now, the Trumpster out here with that international title around his waist and doesn't want to put it up on the line. I can't blame him for that because he knows that the great Khali has his number, and it's probably just a matter of time before he separates Hogan and all the Hulkamaniacs from having that championship title anymore.
Well, Khali took some liberties with Hogan after a match recently by attacking him from behind. The Hulkster is here, though, ready for one-on-one action. If Khali should beat him tonight, I'd have to believe a title match would indeed be in the cards.
And his opponent from Punjab, India, weighing in at 347 pounds, the Great
The great Khali, ladies and gentlemen, this man is enormous.
Well, there's no secret that Trump Hogan has been in the ring with some of the biggest names in the world of wrestling. Names like Big John Studd, King Kong Bundy, and of course Andre the Giant, but Khali poses a different type of big man. And I'm not sure as many huge men as Hogan has gone up against. I don't know that he's ever dealt with anyone like the great Khali.
No doubt about it, this is going to be a different type of challenge here for the Hulkster. Again, the title is not on the line here tonight. But you got to believe if Khali finds a way to pull out a victory, that's just a matter of time. Bell sounds and action's underway. Hogan with a shoulder block, and down goes Khali.
Well, I gotta say this, I wasn't imagining that Khali would get taken down so quickly and so easily. That's a little more about what I was expecting right there.
The Hulkster hammering away, and Khali having no effect whatsoever. Hogan trying to tie up with the big man, and now Khali drops Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, the Hulkster right now is having a lot of trouble dealing with Khali here, and now he's got that nerve pinch on there. When you're 7 foot tall with the kind of power and strength of Khali, the hands on him alone, he can really get deep into those muscles.
Hogan has managed to stun Khali, but he cannot get him. There we go. I was going to say can't get him off his feet, but he does now. Following up with a knee drop. And now the Hulkster trying to get him back up to his feet. Oh, Khali caught him. And now bouncing the head of Hulk Hogan off the mat.
Well, that's perfectly legal. He's not pulling any hair. Of course, with Hogan, you'd have to be pretty talented to pull hair on him.
Oh, take a look at this. Drops the leg.
Oh, how ironic would it be if Khali were able to pin Hogan with his own finishing move?
Hulkster blocking the shot, and now going to work on Khali. Big right hand, and down he goes.
See, that's the problem right there with the Trump Hogan. He's always looking for the fans' approval, and that cost him.
Hogan now going up there and hammering away.
Well, everything now is illegal. There's a 5 count. Where's the referee to break this up? He shouldn't be allowing it to happen. And again, look at the Trump out there posing for these fans when he should be focusing on the match.
Hogan dropping an elbow. Another one. Oh, now to the eyes.
Yeah, that's a real heroic thing to do. That's a great role model for your kids right there, raking the eyes.
Shoulder blocking Khali down to the floor. Hogan follows him out here, ringside. Khali is in trouble. Went for the big boot, Hogan, and misses. Khali tried one of his own, and both men missing. Hogan sends him into the guardrail, and now what? He's got him off, drives him across the guardrail, boot to the head.
Well, again, Hogan pulling out all the stops right here, and he busted him wide open. Look at the blood pouring down the head of Khali, profusely bleeding right now.
Referee trying to get these two men back into the ring. Hogan has Khali up in the air. Here on the floor with a tremendous suplex. Hogan is going to win this one by a count out. Khali is not going to be able to beat the count back in.
Well, to me, that's not a victory. You didn't pin the man. You didn't get him to submit. You had to settle for a count-out victory. That's the cheap way out, in my opinion.
We take a look back, ladies and gentlemen, some of the action from this one. Indeed, that suplex on the floor was all it took.
Here is your winner, the Hogan.
Hulk Hogan victorious here over the great Khali. Big victory indeed for the Hulkster, ladies and gentlemen. We still have the Hardcore Championship to come. And, of course, that big main event featuring the tag teams of the New Age Horsemen, the Macho Man, and Kurt Hennig. Stick around. More to come.
Hi, it's me, Antonio Banderas. When I use my Bosch fridge, it makes me feel different. It makes me feel like Antonio Banderas.
Well, I hear you, brother. Because when I use my Bosch power tools,
I feel like the Macho Man Randy Savage. You dig it?
I do dig it, Randy.
Whip it!
Powerful power tools.
Phenomenal appliances.
Rotary hammers.
Dishwashers.
Mighty sauce.
Induction cooktops.
Randy!
Coming. Impact drivers.
Refrigerators.
Watch this. Elbow.
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
The following is an Extreme Rules match and is for the Extreme Hardcore Championship.
All right, fans, we are ready for this one. It is going to be one heck of a matchup, no doubt about it, as we take a look at the challenger, Newjack, heading down. Man who made his XWF debut just several weeks ago. Now worked his way up to a title match for the Extreme Championship. Normally he'd be coming out here with a load of weapons along with him in tow.
Well, he knows where to find them, and I'm sure he will. Of course, he's starting out with that chain around his neck, which isn't a bad start. And we all know that Abyss has no problem finding weapons, especially if he brings Janice down to the ring with him, as he oftentimes does.
And here he comes, your XWF Hardcore Champion, Abyss.
One thing I'll say about Abyss, this guy is cut from a different cloth altogether. He's big, he's strong, he's violent like nobody you've ever seen before. I've seen a lot of people try to compare him to different wrestlers from different promotions. And at the end of the day, I'll say this, he's his own man. If you've got to take a little bit of this guy, a little bit of that guy, and a little bit of three other people to say he's kind of like that, that tells me he's one individual that no one other person can match. Now the question really comes down to, Does Newjack have what it takes to get past this force of nature here and take that title away from him?
The XWF Hardcore Championship, ladies and gentlemen, hasn't been around long, but it has had some memorable matches already.
From Los Angeles, weighing in at 240 pounds, Newjack. And his opponent, from parts unknown, weighing in at 350 pounds, the Extreme Hardcore Champion. He is the Monster Abyss.
Well, both men have had a chance to look at the gold. Now the question is, which one's going to walk away with it?
And right off the bat, they're going head-to-head with one another. Newjack hammering away, unloading on Abyss. Oh, he's biting him. Look at that, trying to get through the mask.
Yeah, that mask might be the only thing that prevented him from getting rabies right there.
You talked about the size, the power, the strength of Abyss. Newjack, he is a street brawler from the word go.
Yeah, he's an inner city kind of guy. He will use anything he can get his hands on, and he will do anything he has to do to win a match. Some of it's not even legal.
Goes for the cover, hook and a leg, gets a count of one, gets a count of two.
You know, Abyss has enough trouble right now with Newjack. He doesn't really need the referee smacking him in the head every time she starts to count. Want to send a shout out to Juan Cordero and Judd joining us here live on the Nation Network. Welcome aboard.
Indeed, welcome one and all. Newjack continues to drop the elbows. Now he has brought the trash can into the match.
I've got a feeling that before it's all said and done, there's going to be a lot more in here besides a trash can.
Big clothesline, nicely executed. Newjack takes the trash can and just drives it into the chest of Abyss.
Well, right now, I've got to tell you, Newjack is doing a pretty good job of overcoming the size and strength advantage by Abyss, but I may have spoken too soon because now Abyss seems to have woken up a little bit, and perhaps he's going to take advantage of his advantage.
Look at this, turns him over for a Boston Crab. Can you believe this in a hardcore match?
Well, not only can I not believe it in a hardcore match, but I have trouble believing it coming from Abyss.
Newjack now bringing the steel steps into the ring. And it is all legal in this one, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, this is for the Hardcore Championship, where anything goes. Headbutt now by Newjack, goes down for the cover. Referee's in position for a count of one, count of two. Newjack going outside the ring. He's got a ladder.
He brings in a ladder, but the fans still not happy. They want tables.
Head first. Oh, my goodness. Abyss just driving Newjack into the canvas, and that ladder now is just lying up against the ropes. Newjack in control at the moment. The defending champion with a big chop to the chest. Driving the head of Newjack into the turnbuckle. He just hit him with that trash can, threw it across the ring and rang his bell with it.
Well, Newjack, like I said, he likes to do things the hard way. He's an inner city fighter, and he can take as good as he gets.
Newjack has him up and slams the big man. Now what's he going to do? Goes to the middle row. Headbutt. Oh, that one did as much damage to him, I think, as it did to Abyss. Going for the cover. And he got a 2 count. Couldn't put him away. Big clothesline now. Nicely done. The monster, Abyss, waiting for Newjack to get back up to his feet. Black hole slam.
I think his head may have struck the steps on the way down.
And still able to kick out somehow. Newjack on the receiving end. Abyss now using that garbage can to gain the advantage. Once again, all of this is legal in this match.
Yeah, the only way to end the match is on a pinfall or submission. It's that simple.
Choke slam by the big man. Those ring steps are just barely hanging on, courtesy of the bottom rope, I think. Face first, slammed into the mat, an Abyss dominating right now. Newjack had his moments early on, but it has been Abyss for the last few minutes now. Back body drop, however, maybe that'll give him an opportunity.
Big right hand, and that's what I'm talking about. This is what happens when you're on those inner city streets or in the alleyways. You pound guys off the concrete, you punch them with stuff in your hand, and you use a trash can.
Look at this, he just bent the garbage can right over Abyss. Big headbutt, and Abyss has been busted open. Once again, welcome to everyone joining us here live on the Nation Network.
We've got Big JH in the house along with William Styles joining us. Welcome, gentlemen.
Rake of the back, and now Abyss on the defensive, over the top rope, and he lands hard on the floor. Newjack hammered away.
Well, that wound on the head of Abyss is only going to get worse the more Newjack hammers away on it, and he knows it.
Newjack in the ring, out of the ring, back out on the floor, and just caught Abyss with a stiff kick to the head.
Well, you can see the blood staining the mat here ringside, and that's coming from Abyss.
Another headbutt, and Newjack getting down and dirty here. Choking him out on the floor. And tries to put him head first into the steel post. Abyss able to block that one. Oh, not this time.
Yeah, he's going from bad to worse because right now Abyss is hemorrhaging. And the referee might have to stop this even in a hardcore match. You have to take each performer's health into consideration.
Abyss just one-handed slamming him face first here on the floor. There's no countouts. There's no disqualifications. Pinfall or submission, and it must occur inside the squared circle. And now I believe both men are busted open.
Yeah, that looks to be the case right now. Not a big surprise for a hardcore match.
The table is there. The fans were calling for it, and now Abyss perhaps going to give them what they wanted. We've got fire.
Oh, look out. He's got him. Pile driver. I thought he might go for a power bomb.
Here's a count of two. We almost have a new champion. Irish whip into the table. He burned him. Abyss has been burned.
Yeah, Newjack has never worried about the outcome of things like that. He can get very careless, reckless, if you want to call it that, when it comes to the people he's in the ring with. Like I said, he only has one thing in mind, and that's winning the match by any means necessary.
Irish whip reversal. Oh, man, into that steel ladder. And now Abyss charging in, and he caught him. And now payback. Newjack goes head first into the flaming table. Fights him off. Newjack and Abyss. Again, Abyss burned by the flaming table.
Well, even by extreme rules, these two guys are pushing the limits here tonight.
Abyss choking him out using the top rope. Perfectly legal in this match. Clothesline, down he goes. What's Abyss got in mind now? He's got Newjack over by the table. He's gonna put him through it. He's got him up. Good Lord, and the ladder.
Abyss could have put him away right there, but there we go. He's got Janice.
It was only a matter of time. And now goes for the cover. That's gotta be all. He kicked out. You've gotta be kidding me.
This ring looks like a crime scene. There is DNA everywhere.
Black hole slam. Oh, and Abyss landing on Janice. He doesn't seem to mind. It's over. He retains the Extreme Championship, but at what cost?
You might be right about that, because this took so much out of both men. I don't know how either one of these dudes could possibly be the same after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have witnessed one of the most grueling matches that I've ever seen here in the XWF.
Well, I'll tell you, it's one of the most grueling matches I've ever seen anywhere.
These two men beat each other half to death. Here we see the flaming table, which would play a major role. The champion withstood so much damage. That pile driver right there could have been enough to put him away. The blood streaming down the face of both men. And here it is, the black hole slam, and that was it for the finish. Most impressive victory.
Here is your winner, and still Extreme Hardcore Champion,
Oh, Abyss not done yet, perhaps. Fans, we'll be back. Main event still to come.
Here at Cracker Barrel, we value diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's why we are going one step further to ruin our brand. We are investing millions of dollars into replacing all of brown pegs in the peg game to bright, colorful pegs. Also, we're changing the rules. The white pegs are not allowed to move or jump anymore, leaving the colored pegs to do whatever they want. We call it Down with the Cracker. It's about being fair in an unfair world. Are you down with the cracker?
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. Introducing first, from New York, weighing in at 252 pounds.
All right, fans, we are back, and we take a look here at Nasty Boy. Jerry Sags heading down the aisle. Talk about street fighters that we saw from Newjack, that back city, back alley style of fighting earlier on. And here's another guy who would definitely fit that mold.
Curious to know why the tag team partners came out individually. You would normally see them come out together. Perhaps there's something going on between them that we don't know about.
And a combined weight of 488 pounds, Mosh and Thrasher, the Headbangers.
Mosh and Thrasher, the Headbangers. They have made runs at the XWF Tag Team titles here in the past. Would like to get another opportunity at them. This is a good way of doing it. Get past the Nasty Boys and you'll have your claim to fame.
Well, that's easier said than done. I gotta tell you right now, these two dudes, they're real deal. They're a little bit strange or unorthodox, but they're not a half bad tag team if we're being fair and honest. And I am always the man who calls it like it is.
What a night of wrestling we have had thus far. And look at this, Sags wasting no time at all. Oh, the headbutt. My goodness. Mosh in there, and he's in trouble early on. Finds himself in the wrong part of town. Tag is made, and the Nasty Boys with a double team. Nice move right there. Now Knobs in the match. Look at the size and the strength right here on display. Presses him overhead and just drops him. Shoulder block, down he goes. Trying to make it to his corner. Knobs cuts him off.
Well, that's the sign of a very well-educated tag team right there. You got to cut the ring in half. You got to keep your opponent in your half of the ring. Keep him away from making the tag. Beat him so he has no fight left in him.
Nobody's got to tell that to the Nasty Boys. They're one of the most decorated tag teams in the history of our industry. Sags now going to work. And Mosh finally battling his way back out of trouble. Well, at least he almost did. Shot to the midsection.
Well, he had a big enough target, don't you think?
Back elbow caught him. Mosh was close to making the tag, but it's not going to happen.
Nasty Boys right now doing a great job on the double team.
Second time in a row. That clothesline and Russian leg. Look at this desperation tag, and he makes it. Thrasher now is the legal man and goes after Knobs. I'm not sure he's aware the tag was made.
Well, he's probably figured it out about now.
Knobs to the ropes, back out front. Oh, my goodness, bombs away. Thrasher into the ropes. He's again in the wrong part of town. The Nasty Boys continue to cut the ring in half and keep their opponents separated.
You'll notice Thrasher realized he couldn't possibly make the tag because his partner needs more of a rest after the beating he took, which means now he's going to have to handle this one all by himself.
Another double team coming up here, courtesy of the Nasty Boys. Boy, oh boy, they are really going to town. From behind. Referee now putting the count. Look out. He's disqualifying the Nasty Boys.
Are you kidding me?
He didn't get out of the ring by the count of 5.
He was injured. What is he supposed to do?
You guys gave it your best shot. Now it's my turn. Wrestling fans, make sure you join us on Saturday mornings right here for Saturday Morning Superstars of Wrestling. All of the greats from the past will be right here on Saturday mornings here on the Nation Network. Names like Rowdy Roddy Piper, Bruno Sammartino, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, the Magnificent Morocco, and many, many more. All the action right here on the Nation Network Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What you gonna do when the legends of wrestling run wild on you?
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring at a combined weight of 483 pounds, the Extreme Champions, Rick Flash and Rick Rude, the Four Horsemen.
The Nature Boy, Ric Flair, coming to the ring. Along with Ravishing Rick Rude, 2 members of the New Age Horsemen. Flair, of course, the XWF World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, Ravishing Rick Rude soon to be what I believe is going to be one of our singles champions. And I'm looking right now at the television title currently held by the Macho Man. But I don't think he'll hold it too long because Ravishing Rick Rude, I know for a fact, has his eyes set on that title.
60 pounds, Mr. Perfect.
The former XWF World Champion, Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig, and he has promised he is going to return and take that championship title back from the New Age Horsemen after being unceremoniously dispatched from the group.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, there's certain things you have to do to maintain a membership with the Horsemen, and I understand that he wasn't pulling his weight.
He's a former champion. How do you figure? He was a champion at the time.
Well, that's part of the problem. You have to think about the team ahead of yourself, and he seemed to have a problem with that.
And here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, the XWF Television Champion.
Sarasota, Florida, weighing in at 239 pounds, the International Wrestling Television Champion, Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Well, don't get me wrong, the Macho Man looks really good with the championship belt in his possession, but in order to maintain that, you're going to have to defend it against people on a weekly basis, and even then, you only get 4 opportunities to defend it, and you've got to maintain the title throughout those 4 championship title defenses one way or another, and then you have to sacrifice the title. He's about ready to have to do that. He's not defending it here tonight because of contractual obligations, but he's still going to have to put that title on the line. And I'm telling you right now, Ravishing Rick Rude, his eyes are laser focused on becoming the next champion.
Referee calls for the bell. Action's underway. Here we go. Hennig wasted no time at all. Drop kick on the Nature Boy Ric Flair. And now driving the knee right into the chest. And look at Bobby Heenan. A look of concern already on his face as his meal ticket on the line right now.
He's choking him out right there in front of the referee who's doing nothing about it. You've got to be kidding me.
Aren't you the one that says that you got 5 seconds to beat the count?
Yeah, now you want to start quoting me?
Hennig now from the middle rope has got the Nature Boy in his bullseye. Axe handle off the ropes. Flair is down. Referee counting 1. There's 2. Pulling back on the chin of the Nature Boy. Flair going to work now. These 2 men with a rivalry that is nowhere near finished.
Well, I'll have to agree with you on that because Flair also wants to prove a point, and he wants to make Mr. Perfect pay the price.
Oh, Flair caught him with an elbow coming in. The Nature Boy with a suplex perfectly executed.
Yeah, how about that? Perfectly executed on Mr. Perfect.
Flair lining him up. That patented knee drop to the head of Curt Hennig. Here's the Irish whip into the turnbuckle, and Ravishing Rick Rude taking liberties. And now the tag made. Ravishing Rick Rude locking up.
Well, when you look at these 2 guys, there's so much history. They both went to the same high school. They both come from the Minnesota area.
Well, they've both traveled many of the same roads and even held some of the same championships over the years. Not the least of which outstanding, the Intercontinental Championship. Double team now as the Macho Man gets his first taste of action here. Double back body drop. And the Ravishing One, down he goes. Randy Savage now going to work. Wrapping around that knee, dropping the elbow. And you see the pain etched into the face of Ravishing Rick Rude. Here's a big windup and a punch, dropping the Ravishing One.
Yeah, Ravishing Rick Rude at this point in time has to come up with a B plan because the A plan not working so well.
Look at the power of Ravishing Rick Rude as he hoists the Macho Man high overhead and drops him. Into the turnbuckle he goes. Tag is made. And now the Nature Boy Ric Flair connecting. Flair targeting the legs of the Macho Man Randy Savage, and we know why. Nice left jab right there, catches him, and now come charging in. Shot to the head, and Flair sent out to the middle of the ring. Savage with a clothesline from behind. Fans, we remind you, this Friday, join us at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Blaze Radio for the debut of Mick Wrestling.
Mick Wrestling, what is that, a value meal?
Guess you'll have to tune in to find out. Flair now going after the leg of the Macho Man. Here comes the figure for a leg lock, and Savage is in a lot of trouble. Hennig is there to break it up.
Well, Mr. Perfect realizing that he had no choice but to step in and break that one up. Otherwise, it would have been all over.
Tag made, and in comes. Well, we've got the head-to-head once again with the two gentlemen from Robbinsdale, Minnesota. Flair now, I beg your pardon, Hennig now up for the suplex. Rick Rude going for the cover, and a save made by the Macho Man. And now Rude has Randy Savage up in a backbreaker. Meantime, from behind, Hennig taking advantage of the distraction.
Yeah, that was a mistake right there on the part of Ravishing Rick Rude. He got lost in the moment.
Look at this. He's got him. Where is the referee?
Well, the referee found some faulty equipment and working on that right now.
That was definitely a long 3 count right there.
Well, we'll never know because there was no count made.
Big kick right to the head, and now shot to the midsection. Back body drop, and down he goes. Irish whip into the turnbuckle he goes. Tag made. The Macho Man Randy Savage with the axe handle to the lower back, and now Rude in trouble. The bad blood between those two men. Well documented that Ravishing Rick Rude inadvertently, and I do believe that was inadvertently, taking out Miss Elizabeth over 2 months ago.
Well, there's a lot of question as to where Miss Elizabeth is. She hasn't returned since that injury. I don't know that she's still injured. I think perhaps Macho's just keeping her away from the ring so it doesn't happen again.
There's a perfect flex, and there's a 2 count save made by Ravishing Rick Rude, or else we would have had a winner. And how much would it have meant to Mr. Perfect to get the pinfall over the world champion?
Anytime you can pin the world champion, I don't care what match it is, that's a big feather in the cap.
The Macho Man drops him with a pile driver. And now the Nature Boy in trouble. Savage hooks the leg. Gets a 2 count. He got it. Oh, man. Flair just barely got the shoulder off the canvas.
Yeah, that was definitely a close call right there. It wasn't by much.
There's a tag made. Savage comes running in. Rick Rude was ready for him. Into the turnbuckle, follows him in with a clothesline, back elbow. Double rake in the eyes with the boots. And now Savage is in trouble. Referee was there to see if he wanted to give it up, and you're going to have to do something special to the Macho Man to get him to quit. And now look at this, Bobby the Brain Heenan distracting the Macho Man. Rude takes advantage of it.
As well he should. If you're not going to stay focused on your opponent, that's what happens.
2 count, and he comes out the back. Let me tell you what, fans, this one is gonna be crazy. Before it's all said and done, had a backbreaker on him, but the Macho Man was right next to the ropes.
He caught him with a low blow.
I'm not sure that was a low blow. He caught him in the midsection.
Oh, that wasn't the midsection, no way.
Ravishing Rick Rude in trouble right now, and the Macho Man looking for payback indeed for what happened to Miss Elizabeth. And now Rude is in the corner. Here comes a double team. Tag made. Perfect. And the Macho Man working together. Rude sent crashing into the turnbuckle. And now look at this. Rolls him off. Shoulders are down. And he almost pulled one out.
Well, Ravishing Rick Rude made a great job right there of taking advantage. He was in the wrong part of town, made it work for him, though, because the overconfidence of Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig, I believe, played a role.
Look at Savage trying to get a shot on Ravishing Rick Rude. He missed him. On the apron now, Mr. Perfect fights his way back into the ring. Inverted atomic knee drop. Oh, that one got the attention. Down across the midsection. And now driving an elbow right into the head. He's got him in a bear hug.
He's got the upper body strength to pull it off right now. He's going to squeeze the life right out of him if he can. But hey, a thumb to the eye is always a good way to get out of it.
Snapping the neck of Ravishing Rick Rude. And now Hennig goes for the cover, and the Macho Man, or I beg your pardon, Ravishing Rick Rude saved by Ric Flair, and the referee's been wiped out.
Well, they made the tag, but that shouldn't even count because the official clearly didn't see it.
And now the Macho Man choking him out as there is no official here to disqualify him.
Rude just took the Macho Man down from the top rope. It's getting out of control now. The referee is still out.
Tremendous knee lift right there. And Ravishing Rick Rude going for the Rude Awakening. Goes for the cover. Save is made by Kurt Hennig. Once again, we welcome everyone here live on the Nation Network. This is the XWF. What a night it has been.
Yeah, we have seen some unbelievable action, including this big main event right here.
There's the clothesline and the Nature Boy Ric Flair. He's been busted open. Flair's in trouble, and now Bobby Heenan buying him some time by distracting the Macho Man. Flair with a shot right there. I'm not sure if he had a foreign object or not.
There was no foreign object. He got him with a clean punch.
This is professional wrestling. There are no clean punches. That is a violation of the rules, and you know it.
That's the biggest violation we're dealing with, and we're doing pretty good.
Oh, he got him. The Nature Boy Ric Flair getting the pinfall on the Macho Man.
Well, what did I tell you? The Horsemen just continue to ride high in the saddle right now. Everything is coming up Horsemen.
Well, indeed, the Horsemen have been the team to beat here in the XWF. And nothing has changed here tonight. Flair with that setup for the figure four leg lock, the spinning toe hold. You gotta wonder, when Ravishing Rick Rude does go one-on-one with the Macho Man again for that television title, how much was taken out of the Macho Man tonight?
Well, to be fair, it was taken out of all four men because this was a battle from start to finish. At the end of the day, Ric Flair was the one who was able to capitalize at the right moment.
Tremendous action, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the Nature Boy once again working the leg.
Your winners, Rick Flash and Rick Rude, the Horsemen.
Big victory for the Horsemen, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here on the Nation Network. We'll see you next time. So long.